If us rely on one of these, a cup at least of coffee to kickstart the morning. Lots of students use it for overnight studying, don't they? Now, our daily dose of caffeine, though, how can that possibly help us improve our memories? At least the suggestion is that it can, from a new study carried out by scientists in the United States. So should we all start drinking double espressos before exams, or maybe when we're trying to learn a foreign language? Let's find out and speak to Michael Yassa, an assistant professor of neurobiology and behavior at University of California, Irvine. But Professor, you were at Johns Hopkins University when you became the senior author of this report. Now tell me, if I drink some of this, does it help me improve my memory just simply because it stimulates my brain, or is there something in the caffeine that reacts in a particular way?
Well, it's interesting. Actually, caffeine has multiple mechanisms by which it can enhance cognition. So we've known for a while that it enhances your alertness, your attention, your focus, your vigilance. But whether or not it enhances memory was unclear until that was the motivation for doing the study. And the way we tried to exclude all of these other factors and look at the effect of caffeine in particular was by administering caffeine after the study episode. So we had subjects come into the lab and study material, and then we gave them either caffeine or placebo, asked them to come back 24 hours later, and we found that those who received caffeine actually had better memory for the information they learned.
How much coffee do I have to drink? That's the question, isn't it?
Yes, so I think it varies quite a bit from individual to individual. So the effective dose that we found in the study at a group level was 200 milligrams, which is equivalent to about 2 cups of strong coffee. But I think it varies quite a bit. It depends on your body weight. It depends also on whether or not you're a regular caffeine drinker.
There are side effects of drinking too much coffee. Pretty much everybody knows that, you might get slightly nervous, jittery, etc. But one of the problems I find is that I can't sleep if I drink too much coffee. And I remember during my university exams that when I didn't sleep, I performed worse in my exam the next day. So therefore, there's that balance you have to strike, presumably, between drinking the coffee to benefit your memory and also being able to get some decent sleep.
You're precisely correct. So, of course, if it comes at the cost of a good night of sleep, then it's not going to do any good for memory. In fact, one of the things that we know happens during sleep is additional consolidation or strengthening of things that you've learned throughout the day, and these things tend to become more permanent after a good night of sleep. So I think drinking caffeine by day is fine as long as it's in moderation, of course, but if it comes at the cost of a good night of sleep, that's going to be problematic.
Have you studied any other ways to improve memory, or was this simply about caffeine? Because there are other techniques, of course. Some people slot certain letters or colors in their brain to coincide with a particular word or memory that they want to preserve. And caffeine, after all, is a stimulant. Many people don't want it in their body.
Certainly. So there are many, many different ways of improving memory that people have used over the years. The reason that we wanted to look at caffeine is because we have some hypotheses about the mechanisms in the brain that caffeine uses to be able to enhance memory. So this was really a first step for us. And now the question is, how does it actually work? And we intend to do brain imaging studies to try to identify those mechanisms.
And how long did the positive effects last for with your subjects? How long did they have to wait before they had to drink another coffee?
So they didn't have to wait at all because these were all caffeine-naive subjects, so they weren't really regular coffee drinkers. And we wanted to do this for experimental control because otherwise we would have quite a bit of variability across all of the participants. Now, you can imagine the situation would be different if they're a regular coffee drinker.
Okay, well, Professor, that's very interesting indeed, I must say, and it's really going to encourage a lot of people. I'm sure that because so many people drink coffee, they're going to be quoting your research to their spouses or their friends and saying, let's have another cup of joe. Thanks a lot, Professor. Michael Yassa speaking to us there.
Thank you.